Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone who rule well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, salutations, and mercies to the elect and the one-third remnant out there listening and doing this word with all faith and sincerity scattered amongst the nations and the four corners of the earth. To you I say Shalom, Lord willing. This video is edifying. It's going to be centered around the topic of humility and being in a humble state of mind, right? Especially in our line of work, dealing with the Lord. If you want the Lord to deal with you according to His mercies and His favors and His blessings, then you have to be humble, extremely humble. Okay. The Lord, matter of fact, He only deals with the humble. When you go into these scriptures, all right, He makes that very apparent. Okay, scriptures say that the meek shall inherit the earth. Okay. Matter of fact, this is Psalms 25:9. The meek will He guide in judgment, and the meek will He teach His way. That's right. And then another word for meek is humble. Okay, so the Lord is only guiding the humble. Okay, He's only dealing with humble spirits because, scriptures say that He hate a proud look. Okay. Matter of fact, the moment you start to become proud is the moment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua stops dealing with you. Okay. Developing that stiff neck, right? Becoming more rebellious. Nobody can tell you anything. Okay. Being extremely stubborn. All right. These are things that you have to watch out for within yourself. Okay. And, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will give you certain situations and trials that should humble you, keep you in a lower state to where, it's hard to be proud, right? Because when you become proud, you become ungrateful, right? But if you humble, you're appreciative, fortunate, okay? You count your blessings, and that's something that we all should be doing, right? This is Sirach 10 and 12. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from the Most High and his heart is turned away from his maker right. Now you doing things in which show that you don't truly fear the Lord. Okay. And we know that the fear of the Lord is wisdom in itself. All right. The Lord wants you to fear Him, because if you fear Him, you'll keep His commandments. You'll walk that tightrope. All right. You'll do the things in which you know that you should do. But with no fear, then you don't feel a consequence for doing evil. Okay, you become hardened in it. You become boastful in it. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. And that's if you have pride in you, right? That's your ego brings a lot of that pride, that proudful spirit, right? And sometimes you may not even know, but that's why you have to constantly consider your ways and be in prayer and be in a humble spirit. Okay, taking all things into consideration, right? Even if it may not be necessarily true, you examining it and you looking at it as if it could be. Just, even if it may not apply, you still have to look at it and see, right? Honestly, right? And that's tough to do, but with the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, it's possible. When you fear the Lord, it's possible. Okay? Because you think, okay, well, is this? And if this is me, then, this is off. What are the consequences of that? And that's what should be keeping you straight. Okay? This is Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty look and a haughty spirit before a fall. Right. So when you are in pride, your downfall is imminent, right? And you see it time after time again. Okay. Soon as, certain individuals start feeling themselves the most, then all of a sudden what? The Lord come, expose some crazy shit. Some, all of a sudden something happens to where those skeletons come out the closet, right? And now all of a sudden he on camera crying, And that's just one example. All right. But the Lord, he will do that to you quick. All right. Look at Saul. Okay. You go into the story of Saul. He got proud. All right. And thought he knew more than the Most High because of his pride and ego. That's why it is, it is essential that you check that, right? It's essential that we stay on top of that because we don't want that to be us. All right, this is Micah 6 and 8. He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth Yahweh Shema Shai require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy power. Right, walk humbly, man. And do justly, do the right thing. Do what's righteous. Applying the scriptures. Okay, and love mercy, not just for yourself, but show it as well. Right, because scriptures say, he that has shown no mercy shall receive no mercy. Okay, so you got to be in the spirit of being willing to show it. Right? And that's a form of humility. Okay? Being merciful. Putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and, being able to judge from their perspective. Okay? And, once you, learn the art of doing that, you start looking at things a lot differently, right? And at the end of the day, we're going to want Yahweh Shai to show us mercy, right? And that's where being humble is at, because when we being judged, or when you're making judgments, show the same or have the same show the same mercy that you would want on yourself, right? Within reason, right? How would you want to be judged in that situation? Okay? Very important. Because you could get caught up in, because ultimately we're all guilty of going off in sin. All right? But we hoping for the sure mercies of David, right? And David was very, very, very humble, very meek. That's why the Lord had the mercy he had on him. Okay? This is James 4:6. But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, the Most High resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. So the Lord, he's going to resist you if you're proud. He's not going to spare you. Okay? He's not going to show you any favor. All right? But if you're humble, he's open to it. Right? He can deal with you. All right? Because that's what the Lord say. He wants a broken, contrite heart, right? Because he's the healer. And that's what being, showing humility is being vulnerable, right? Or at least appearing that way. Okay, not being boastful, not being, overmuch. Even if you got it all, or if you got it, not, being flashy and showing it, right? Boasting in what you got, your accomplishments. No, being humble, willing to help. Okay. This is 1 Peter 5:6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. That's right. And the Lord will put you through situations that'll make you humble, like I mentioned before. Okay, hard times. Okay. He put you through tests, put you through the ringer, make you hurt. That way you have to come to him humbly. Okay. Teary-eyed, weak kneed, hands and knees flat on your stomach, sobbing. The Lord will do it to you, man. Right? Because that's the spirit that he wants you in. That's the spirit that you should be in. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Right? And he wants us to be that way because we're submitting to him. We're letting him, we're showing that we're relinquishing all control and all, restraint unto him. Giving ourselves up completely, making ourselves naked for him to clothe us, right? And to guide us and to shield us, because we don't know. And that's a part of being humble, right? You don't know your own way. You don't know the Lord's will. We just hope and pray that his will is, in his will is our favor and mercy, right? And our blessing. That's all we hope for. And we hope that his will, that our will align with his. And that's being humble, man. Okay? Because we understand that, there are bigger powers at play. All right? So with honor, give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Al-Shah, Bashim, Rakakwadash, Wa, Abad, Babal, and DTA, DTN.